Hey, what's happening, Disc Gamers? It's me, the Guy01, and welcome to this week's versus episode on the Walkthrough channel. This week, it's the Megastar, LA Knight, against the Viper, Randy Orton. Now, neither of these two had a birthday this past week, so that's not why I'm doing this matchup, but there were a couple birthdays this last week, but not enough for me to work with, really. It was Carmella's birthday, October 23rd. She turned 36. And it was CM Punk's birthday, October 26th. He turned 45. So, funny thing about this game is, something that I heard was LA Knight did all of the motion capture. That's according to an interview he did with Chris Van Vliet, that he did all of the motion capture for all the wrestlers. It's funny because when this game came out, early 2023, he was still mid-card. Like, I think he had just moved to SmackDown from NXT, and he was getting your standard NXT mid-carder moved up to main roster reaction. Nothing compared to what he's getting to now. We'll just say that. So the reason I did these two is because these are probably the two wrestlers who have been in the news the most recently. LA Knight, of course, obviously he has his world title match against Roman Reigns at Crown Jewel next Saturday. But Orton's also been in the news because apparently there's rumors going around that WWE is setting up a return for him at Survivor Series next month. Now, of course, this hasn't been confirmed, and of course it's not going to get confirmed until it happens, because, you know, they want that to be a shock of all shocks kind of thing. So, of course, I'm not going to confirm that. But there are several reports that there's already like a whole new line of merchandise that's basically cleared for sale. They just haven't launched it yet. So, you know, we've been hearing stuff about Randy Orton coming back for the past 6 months. I feel like. I think there was a rumor of him coming back at Mania, him coming back at SummerSlam. I mean, every pay-per-view there's a rumor of him coming back. But this is the first one where it seemed like there was actually, like, some evidence behind it, which that got a lot of people's attention. Now, we'll see if it actually ends up being true or not. Uh-oh. But the reason I brought up the whole thing with LA Knight doing the motion capture is he probably has one of the weaker looking models in this game. I mean, that looks very barely like him. And it's funny that, you know, the guy who did the motion capture didn't get like a good scan of him. I mean, I don't think I've actually ever played as LA Knight in this game before. Ow. Oh no. No! Ahaya! We'll turn this up a little bit. Ooh. Hard right hand. Oh no. But speaking of people being in the news, CM Punk was also in the news, again with Survivor Series. Apparently there was something came out, which again, how true it is, don't really know. But there was a rumor that came out that CM Punk had actually approached WWE about a potential WWE return. And the time that got kind of thrown out was Survivor Series, have him like return at Survivor Series, and according to this rumor, WWE actually turned him down. Now, again, there's like, I think there's like two versions of this. One where, you know, it was just like a mutual kind of thing, like, hey, would you be interested in doing this? And it was like a mutual, hey, that's not going to work. Then there's the one that got a lot of attention, which I'm going to say the one, not the one that, you know, was more believable or the more credible one, but the one that got more attention was the rumor that CM Punk was the one who actually reached out to WWE and basically asked for them to hire him back on, and they turned him down. Again, how true that is, don't know. Hasn't been confirmed by either side. Something actually came out on like Twitter recently. Someone asking Punk if he'll be at Survivor Series, and he said, "I don't know, man. Last I heard, it was sold out, so I don't know if I'll be able to get tickets." Basically, him saying that the only way he'd ever be at Survivor Series is if he bought a ticket and went there as, you know, a fan in attendance. Ooh, out he goes. Alright, let's get into Raw. Not really a lot happened this week, or not a lot of segments to talk about. Raw began with the Judgment Day attacking Cody Rhodes and leaving him basically out of commission for the rest of the show. The New Day beat Otis and Chad Gable. Becky Lynch beat Indy Hartwell to retain the NXT Women's Championship. She would actually go on to lose it this past week's episode of NXT. I forget who she lost it to. But that's a little side thing. But also, it was cool to see Indy Hartwell again. Kind of forgot she was still with the company. Which, that's not a good sign, especially with that recent, you know, mass firings that WWE did not too long ago. Johnny Gargano beat Giovanni Vinci. Again, Vinci is not looking good for him in Imperium. Whoop. Ref, get out of the way, you're ruining the shot. We couldn't even see what he did. Ow. Oh no. Ow. Oh no. Oh no, you don't. Ow. Oh crap. Oh, this is a good. No. Uh-oh. Aha. Caught him. No. You got lucky there, Orton. Chelsea Green and Piper Niven beat Natalya and Nikki Cross, who Nikki Cross didn't really do a whole lot during the match, which I don't know if that's leading up to a story or I don't know. But yeah, it was just one of those kind of random put together matches. Drew McIntyre faced Sami Zayn. At the end of the match, Rhea Ripley, who had a backstage encounter with Drew McIntyre and kind of teased the idea of him joining Judgment Day, came out and distracted Zayn, which allowed Drew McIntyre to hit the Claymore kick and get the win. Now, this has been a kind of a reoccurring thing with the Judgment Day and Rhea Ripley specifically, of her kind of reaching out to certain wrestlers and basically throwing out the idea of them joining Judgment Day. Drew McIntyre is probably the best example of that right now. I think Jey Uso was another one where they're teasing the idea of Rhea Ripley trying to basically convince people to join Judgment Day. Moving on, Bronson Reed beat Akira Tozawa, and well, wasn't actually a squash match. It was. They actually let Akira get some offense in, but you know, they also want to make Bronson Reed keep him looking strong after losing to Gunther last week, which I don't think they have anything to worry about there. And in the main event, Damian Priest beat Jey Uso. Afterwards, the Judgment Day began beating down Jey Uso, which led to Cody Rhodes returning and coming out and making the save with a steel chair in order to close up the show. Probably the other most noteworthy segment of Raw, other than the ones I talked about, was the promo involving Logan Paul and Dominic Mysterio. I mean, the fans hate those guys. I mean, it's kind of amazing the reactions they're getting. I mean, Dominic gets booed enough on his own. Combine that with, you know, Logan Paul, and they actually drowned him out. Like, it was insane, the noise that came out. You know, if they actually go and do something like this and team up Logan Paul with Dominic Mysterio, you're not going to be able to hear a word they say in any promo. I mean, the fans just hate them. It's amazing. Like, with Dominic, you can tell it's one of those, like, he's the one you love to hate. It's fun to hate him. And they get really into it. Oh, there you go. Come on in. Cool. Alright, what have been in the moves? BFT, Burning Hammer. Okay. Get up, Orton. Ow. Get out of here. I forget where I was going with that last thought. Anyway, moving on to SmackDown. Again, SmackDown was the same way. Not really a lot of stuff. There was a lot of promos, I'll say, which they were good promos. They were enjoyable, but you know, not really a lot to talk about with this kind of thing. The Street Profits beat Santos Escobar and Carlito. Ow. Shotzi beat Chelsea Green. Dragon Lee beat Cedric Alexander in what was a very fun match. It was surprisingly long considering, you know, the two guys involved. They normally don't get that much time to wrestle, especially Cedric. I mean, that's another guy I'm like, I kind of forgot he was still with the company. I would have figured he would have been one of the guys released in that recent mass layoff. And the last match of the night, see, I told you not really a lot to talk about match-wise. LA Knight beat Jimmy Uso. Well, I should mention that the show opened with LA Knight and Roman Reigns' contract signing for Crown Jewel, which, I mean, Knight once again gets the biggest pop of the night. No one else comes close. It's impressive, the reactions he's getting, and it's smart of WWE to capitalize on it now with, you know, him getting put in a world title match against Roman Reigns. But anyway, going to the main event, LA Knight beat Jimmy Uso and then ended up laying out Roman Reigns and standing over him to close out the show, which that is not something you see a lot of, especially when Roman Reigns is involved. Usually if you have a segment like that, it's Roman Reigns standing over someone to close out the show. Boom. Which, you know, the fact that LA Knight stood over him basically cements that he's losing at Crown Jewel. Which, I don't think there was any doubt about. I mean, I said this before. Reigns is basically untouchable as champion until WrestleMania comes, which I don't know. At this point, I would have. I don't know. I don't want to say at this point you almost should have just put him in a rivalry with Seth, because at least then there's more chance or believability of him actually winning the title. If with feuding with Seth, with Roman, you know he's not going to be the guy to beat Roman. I mean, actually, let me rephrase that. He's not going to be the one to beat Roman at this point. Like, I mean, like at Crown Jewel. Roman is not losing that title at any other event other than WrestleMania. I've said this before, yeah, and I think that's a common, consensus among fans that title's not coming off Roman till Mania. The biggest event they can, they're gonna hype that thing up as much as possible. But if you put him with a thing with Seth, problem is Seth is a face, and you don't really want them sharing cheers. It is easier to put him up against a true heel like Roman. That way the fans can put their 100% support behind him, which is one of the things that's been leading to such all these huge reactions. The fans are behind him 100% in this rivalry, whereas if it was against Seth Rollins, you'd have, I'm sure you'd still have most of them against LA Knight just because of how popular he is right now, but you'd also have a decent sized chunk behind Seth. So, I don't know, there's pros and cons of having with Roman, same that there would be pros and cons if you had paired him up with Seth for this feud. But it will be interesting to see where they go with it. Will LA Knight lose by clean finish, dirty finish? We'll see. We'll see what happens. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. I make videos all the time. Stay tuned for next week's Versus and next week where we continue our Batman Arkham Asylum walkthrough. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Happy Halloween. We actually kind of... If you saw the Arkham Asylum video that came out before this, that's basically like my Halloween special for this week, or for this year. We finally broke the 1 hour mark in Arkham Asylum. We got close a few times, but we finally broke the 1 hour mark. Took 13 episodes, but we did it. Although to be fair, if you've seen the episode, you'll know what I mean by this, but that episode definitely could have been like 10-15 minutes shorter. It should not have gone on that long, but at the same time I had no clue what I was doing, so that's the only reason it went on as long as it did. So treat that hour-long Arkham Asylum video as my Halloween special. Which, in case you didn't put together, is why this match happened at Halloween Havoc. I'm a genius. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. DC Guy01 and LA Knight signing out. Bye guys.